To say that I'm not pissed off about how the main event of Clash at the Castle went would be a bold-faced lie. We gonna get into it right now. Welcome back to another episode of Wrestle Capsule, where you're going to be getting your weekly dose of pro wrestling talk. And I'm your host, B. So welcome back to the show. You already know what it is. We're talking about Clash at the Castle. I just got done watching it, and I'll say this off the bat. There were multiple matches within Clash at the Castle that did not go the way that I planned them to go, wanted them to go. And it was just unexpected, and I don't know how to feel about it. Last thing I want is to be able to predict how a match would go and it be right. When there's multiple matches like that, then I worry. So I don't know how to feel about this. I really do not. And it's especially about the main event between Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns for the Undisputed World Championships. So we're just going to get into it. So I did not watch the pre-show. I just wanted to get into the meat of it. I was not interested in the corn and potatoes, if you know what I'm saying. So we're going to start off with the women's match. So the 3-on-3 Damage Control, Bayley, Io Sky, and Dakota Kai versus the Raw Women's Champion, Bianca Belair, Asuka, and Alexa Bliss. So I do want to say this about this match. I loved the way Io Sky, Dakota Kai, and Bayley were working together as a group, as Damage Control, especially Io and Dakota. Like, they have gotten so much better at just moving with one another as a team. It was such an enjoyable match. And overall, to have Damage Control win, I was hoping that they would win. I wanted them to win, and I feel like this was important for them to win at such a big pay-per-view. It was so good. The only thing that I would say that really was getting on my nerves, and you guys let me know in the comments below whether you felt the same way, was the crowd at Wales was getting on my nerves. They kept doing the, hey, Bayley, I wanna know if you be my girl. I'm like, yes, we get it. That was what the crowd used to sing when Bayley was a face. You know, she had her Bayley buddies and all that stuff like that, and had the ponytail to the side. Like, it was funny at first, but as they kept doing it every time she would get into the ring and start wrestling, it got distracting and it started getting annoying to me. And I was just like, I know in different parts of the world, wrestling fans are different. Not all wrestling fans are made the same. I understand that, but that part was getting on my nerves. But eventually they moved on from it, kind of. But yeah, I was so proud of Dakota Kai, and I was so proud of Io Sky. So in the end, Damage Control won over Bianca, Asuka, and Alexa Bliss. And I was fine with it. I was fine with it. It was an overall really good match. And I love that each competitor had a chance to show their skills. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot. I've been waiting for Asuka and Io Sky to kind of have it out in the ring. Especially, I'm not sure if it was Michael or Corey or even Byron, for that matter. I didn't know who it was in the commentators that were talking about how once upon a time ago in New Japan, there was a group, Io Sky, Io Shirai, whatever her name was back then, Asuka, and then Io's sister. They were all in a group together. And I'm just like, I did not know that. So to see them have that history and then to be in the ring those times where they were both tagged in, that was epic. I want to see them have a singles match because they have that Japan like technique and wrestling. I would just love to see that go down. Oh, it was Michael Cole. I just looked at my notes. It was Michael Cole who mentioned that Sky previously had a group with Asuka and her sister in Japan. So yeah, it was Michael Cole. So the next match, I was looking forward to this match, and I have just been raving about this Intercontinental Championship match between Gunther and Sheamus. So let me just say this. So you guys, if you haven't seen my SmackDown video that I did yesterday, go check it out. I was talking about how Butch, aka Pete Dunne, came out with his gear, his bruiserweight gear. And I was so pumped about it. He's going back to his original character. And then fast forward for Clash at the Castle, you have Gunther coming out with his ring general, his black long coat, like back in the day when he was called Walter. So small details, not really small details. That made me so freaking excited. I was just like, yes, he's going back to Walter. Even though his name is still Gunther, I was so excited. Oh my gosh. And he had Ring General on the back of the coat, like back in the day. And then he had Ring General on his tights. I was so excited. And then you have Giovanni come out with Ludwig Kaiser with Gunther. And I'm just like, yo, he's the dude from NXT. So I'm assuming he's getting called up to the main roster. That was dope. So now it was Gunther had his two guys. And then, of course, Sheamus had his two guys. So overall, that match was all that I wanted and more. I said it on my Twitter, like, it was just chest chops central, like chest chops for days, to the point where freaking Sheamus, his chest was getting pink and cut up and stuff. I love the chest chops. I really do. Oh my gosh. I didn't know who was going to win. I wanted Gunther to win. I wanted him to retain the Intercontinental Championship. And he did, but there were some close calls. Especially when Sheamus did the freaking white noise. I was like, oh my gosh, you're gonna lose the title, Gunther. He retained, and I was so happy. Like, this match was incredible. It was so good. It was hard-hitting moves, hard strikes left and right, back and forth. I just had a brain fart. Don't scream at me. I just had a brain fart. Having Gunther, Ludwig Kaiser, and Giovanni Vinci, all three of them together at Clash at the Castle. They literally reassembled Imperium. Like, so I'm assuming that's gonna be continual. I'm seeing a pattern with Triple H, whether he's allowing wrestlers to wear their old gear and go back to their own personas, bringing back old teams, bringing back ex-WWE wrestlers. Like, there's a coming home. So I am looking forward to the powerhouse that is Imperium. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I forgot about that. So the SmackDown Women's Championship match between Liv Morgan and Shayna Baszler. I don't know if I said this on my channel, but I wanted Shayna Baszler to win. I wanted her to win the SmackDown Women's Championship. Did that happen? No, it did not. It did not. Surprisingly. I was expecting for Shayna to win that title. I'm starting to see more and more of Liv Morgan's moves and talent in the ring. Her being a champion, I still need to see more from her. I feel like with that match, she just scaved by. Like, she just retained. I feel like if she would have made one mistake, she would have lost that title. She would have lost it. I really do. So I feel like Liv Morgan, I hope that moving forward, she begins to really embody a champion and Like, I know that she is a face, and it was a face versus heel for the championship, but I want to believe more, and I feel like Triple H is giving her another chance to prove herself, and I feel like Triple H and Stephanie McMahon are allowing wrestlers, superstars, to prove themselves, one, but also show not only them, but the fans that they are meant to have what they have. They're meant to have the titles. They're meant to have main event matches. They're meant to be in the forefront. So I hope that Liv gets better. Instead of me being like, man, she don't deserve it. No, she don't deserve it. She's working hard. Like, you got to admit that Liv Morgan is trying. She's working hard. And it's almost like yesterday for me that she, like, the whole Riot Squad dismembered and she had to go out on her own. And even when she was on her own in the beginning, she was always put to the wayside. And this is really the first time that she's able to be in the front. So it's going to take some time. It's going to take some time. She's going to grow in front of us. So we just got to appreciate and be patient with the process, because Triple H must see something in Liv Morgan, and I trust him enough with that to see where it goes. But man, I thought Shayna Baszler was going to break her arm. I thought she was going to break that arm because she kept going at that injured arm. She would not stop. She was relentless with that. And Liv Morgan was throwing out some moves. I was just like, girl, I ain't never seen you do that. I was like, them practices with Matt Riddle was helping you out, sis. So the next match that I want to talk to you guys about is the match between Judgment Day, Edge, and Rey Mysterio. There was some highlights for me. Overall, it was a good match. Now, I will say this. I feel like this match was more of a Raw match. And I'm not trying to piss on it. Let me just say that before you guys try to come at me in the comments. I don't want to piss on it. It was a good match. Like, it was solid. Come on. It was. But I feel like it was missing something, and I'm not quite sure what it was. Maybe I was expecting some sort of like extravagant, event to happen within that match. One of the highlights for me was seeing Edge do the 619. Now, I mean, of course, it wasn't as good as Rey Mysterio's, but seeing him do his friend's move was pretty dope. The only shock factor, speaking of going back to what I was saying before, the only shock factor of that was Dominic Mysterio going heel. Now, I don't know if you guys have been following me with my episodes, but I remember in one episode, I was talking about how, like, he wasn't trusting Edge and he was just being super stank to his dad. Stupid fly. He was being, ignore that. He was being super stank to his dad. And I remember talking about Dominic possibly turning heel with the chair on top of him. And I'm just like, my gosh, where is Dominic? Where are you at, bro? That's your dad. That is why I said I feel like he's going to freaking turn, he's going to turn heel or something like that. Because I'm just like, where is this dude at? Your dad is getting freaked up. And how that would play out pretty well and would make sense. And I feel like at the time I was thinking that would definitely put him over even more with the fans. And sure enough, Dominic turned heel. He kicked Edge in the nuts and I think he clotheslined his dad. And I was just like, and then the Judgment Day out on ringside cracking. They were freaking cracking up. Rhea, Finn, Damian, they were all laughing. I'm wondering if Dominic is just going to be heel by himself. I don't feel like that's smart. I feel like he needs to be around another person, more so a group of people that are going to help him cultivate that heel-ness. Now, would it make sense for him to go with Judgment Day? Yeah, but would they take him after the back and forth they've had in the past? I don't know. I'm so intrigued to see where this is going to go. I knew something was up, especially when he was not out I think when Ray was having a match with Finn Balor and he was nowhere to be found and Edge had to come in and help out. So even when I saw that, I was like, something's fishy. So I told you so. I told you so. Yo, that match between Matt Riddle and Seth Rollins was everything that I wanted in life when it comes to wrestling. I was expecting Matt Riddle to win, but he didn't. And that definitely threw me for a loop. It definitely threw me for a loop. Oh my gosh. And I love how Seth was in full heel form. Like, I remember at one point he was just freaking up Riddle and he had him on the ropes and he was like grabbing his hair and like talking smack and talking about his family being messed up and his ex-wife and his kids not wanting him. Just basically the same stuff that he was coming at him with before, just to get under his skin, because as we all know, Seth is so good at being the master manipulator. So with that made Riddle get even more pissed off. And then when he was pissed off, he was missing stuff. And like, it just allowed Seth to get over on Riddle. So that was crazy. To see Matt Riddle lose that match, oh my gosh. I was like, what in the blue heck is going on here? And I can't help but to think this. You guys let me know what you think. But it made me think about all the rumors and the drama. It's not even rumors, because there's evidence. There's text message evidence. And I'm not going to get into it on my channel because I'm not into like gossip and just coming at wrestlers' personal life. I usually only talk about events outside of the ring that affect in-ring work. And so far that I see, this whole stuff with Riddle's ex-girlfriend and these leaked, disgusting text messages haven't really affected him in the ring. But I'm wondering if the reason why he lost was because of them text messages and just how he's perceived to the public. Hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully this is just how it was written, how it was supposed to be. But I mean, a girl thinks, you know what I'm saying? Like, with all this stuff going on, I wonder if this is like, okay, you were going to win, but now you're not going to win because of all this stuff. So I hope that's not the case. Maybe it's just me being, Inspector Gadget, Harriet the Spy. Don't mind me, but these are just my thoughts after he lost. He was just standing in the ring and Seth was just gloating, leaving. I was just wondering, like, was this how it was originally supposed to go? Like, this is too ironic. But that's neither here nor there. So, the match we've been all waiting for. The match for the Undisputed WWE Universal Championship match. And I'm sorry, sometimes I leave out Universal because that's just a mouthful. I just want these two belts to separate. It's just too much to say. Can we just have the WWE World Championship? And then can we just have the WWE Universal Championship? Can we just have two separate ones? Because having them together with one person having them, it's just too much for my mind. It's too many words for me to say. So anyway, the Undisputed WWE Universal Championship match between Drew McIntyre and the champion, Roman Reigns. There were so many near falls that I felt like I was having anxiety. You're like, Mark, I don't care. Yes, I'm a smark, okay? I'm a dang smark and I'm proud of it. There were so many times, like, I think Roman speared Drew McIntyre like 3 times and pinned him. I was like, oh my gosh, it's over. It's over. It's over. It's over. And then it wasn't. There was just so many twists and turns. Like, the fact that Roman Reigns won pissed me off. The fact that he retained, I cursed. I was like, oh my gosh, like, what the hell's going on? I was so mad. I was so freaking mad. I wanted Drew McIntyre to win. And it's funny because in my video, in my SmackDown, I was like, if Drew McIntyre doesn't win, I'm a riot. I'm going to be upset and I'm going to make a video about it. But ain't nobody got time to riot. I want to know, if it's not Drew that is going to dethrone Roman Reigns, then who? Especially when you build up Drew for weeks and then you had these incredible vignettes of Drew McIntyre through and through. I'm just like, what? And I know all the people at Cardiff they were just like, they're just pissed off. I know they were. Like, he had a whole continent just behind Drew McIntyre, and for that to go the way that it did, crazy. Then, oh my gosh, just so much stuff happened, and there's so many people, there's so many interferences that happened within that match. Karrion Kross and Scarlett were on the sidelines, and at one point, he threw a water bottle at Drew. I'm just like, what is good? Is he going to jump in? Is he going to do something else? I was expecting that, but no. Then you have Austin Theory come out because he is Mr. Money in the Bank. And this is the second time he has not been able to cash in successfully. And I thought he was. Honestly, how I thought this match was going to go was that the belts, don't judge me, okay? Don't judge me. Drew was going to have one belt. And then Austin Theory was going to cash in. Think about my logic. I know. Was going to cash in on Drew after he won the 2 belts, and then he was going to win 1 belt, and then there were just going to be 2 belts, and with one with Drew and the other with Theory. And then fast forward, then Karrion Kross was going to have a match with Austin Theory to win the belts, and then it was going to be a battle of the belts between Drew and Karrion. I know that's so elaborate and so much, and I know you guys are thinking at home like, what is this girl on? But I'm a storyteller. This is what my brain was going through. Yeah, none of that happened at all. And then next thing you know, freaking Solo Sikoa came out and interfered. Come on, man. So I guess now he is on the main roster. I'm not really surprised about him now coming over because they were kind of teasing that. So now he's on the main roster. So he's definitely a part of the bloodline because the Usos weren't there because they were recuperating from Friday night when Drew McIntyre beat the crap out of them in the ring. And then Tyson Fury comes and tries to, I think he like popped the crap out of Theory. Like Theory was trying to cash in, and Fury's on the sideline. He just popped him. He was out for the remainder of the match. So you did not see Theory at all after. I was like, did he keep getting murked and freaked up every time he cashes in? Will he ever have a successful cash? And I'm like, dude, you might as well just go for another one of them belts. Like, you are not getting the Undisputed. You are not getting the WWE from Roman Reigns. You're just not. Yeah, there was just so much going on. And I thought that Drew was going to win with a crazy Claymore. I was banking on that. And when it didn't happen, I was super pissed. The storytelling, I will say this, the storytelling was dope as freak. So now my question is, who is going to dethrone Roman Reigns? That's a serious, legitimate question. Like, who is going to dethrone Roman Reigns? No one has been able to beat him. He's been champion for 2 years. The person we expected, well, I'll just speak for myself. The person who I expected to win did not win. And of course, he had help. He always has help. Roman Reigns always has help no matter what. He always has somebody in his freaking corner. So, guys, let me know in the comments below who you think is going to win those 2 belts, if at all. Honestly, I'm starting to think, like I said before, I'm starting to think that Roman is just going to leave the titles when he officially leaves WWE to go to Hollywood and be a full-on actor. I feel like he's just going to just leave he's just going to leave undefeated. So, I mean, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I feel like they've built him up too much, and I feel like he needs to be taken down. So guys, let me know in the comments below what you thought about Clash at the Castle. I really want to know. I want us to have a conversation here because I'm shooketh. I'm totally shooketh. Overall, it was a great pay-per-view. It was definitely the results were definitely unexpected, and that's what I want. But you know, I don't know what they're doing over there. I don't know what Triple H is thinking with that last match, but I'll get off that horse. I'll get off that horse. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more episodes. They're coming soon. And don't forget that I am going to be reviewing All Out for tomorrow. Thank you guys so much for watching. Signing off. Bye.